just arrived in Auburn. I'm very happy they gave me the upgrade to the big room, the suite, which is nice. Because I'm here for 5 nights. This is going to be my base of operations. I've stayed at this motel in this town many times over the years. So now I gotta move in and then do my standard trip to Wegmans for provisions. It's kind of across the street-ish. Tired. It took me over 5 hours to get here and I'm having a bit of a flare. Making my first stop at the Wegmans. It's a cozy little Wegmans, but it's late, so they probably don't have a lot of the prepared food and stuff out, but I might score a nice poke bowl. We'll see. Alright, it's Tuesday. No. I don't know what day it is. Alright, it's Monday morning. I am in Auburn, New York, and I'm headed over to Cayuga Community College here in Auburn. It's going to be my 8th program, or 8th time presenting at this campus. 7th time in person. There was, you know, that 2020 year. I've done everything here from my first program I did 8 years ago was a creative writing workshop. I've done women's empowerment. I did an invisible disabilities program for military veterans who are students. And today I am going over to do a workshop about self-care and time management for folks with invisible disabilities. And it's going to be on your first 2 pages as you open it, like this. Now, does everybody have like a pen or pencil? I have pencils if you want pencils.
I had a crayon.
How to get started. So with my novel, I would agree that if I'm at like a pickup truck or a tractor trailer, I'm going to write 1 page. I'm going to establish this with myself ahead of time. If I'm feeling better, I'm going to write 3 pages. If I'm feeling absolutely terrible, I'm going to sit down and crank out a paragraph. So this is a little contract with myself. Here's why this is wonderful. There's no pressure in the moment to come up with what I'm going to do. I don't have to be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to feel good about now? What should I do? All I have to do is figure out, well, what's my status right now? Oh, well, it's pickup truck. Okay. Well, what did I say I did? 1 page. Okay, I guess I got to do it. So it keeps you from making excuses, but it also keeps you from feeling guilty.
I'm Norman Lee, Director of Student Activities at Cayuga Community College. I wanted to say what a wonderful program you offer, the self-care, where you really provide people the tools to really focus on self-care things that they can do to assist them in their daily lives. So I really appreciate the help, and I think my students are going to love it.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I am the president of Auburn Student Activities Board, and I know for a fact that I'm going to use a lot of the tools provided by Christina to help me cope with my depression.
So a must-do whenever I'm up in Auburn is I have to go to this beautiful little Finger Lakes town called Skinny Atlas. And I just parked, and that's a big deal because I have gotten parking tickets here before. The first time, many years ago, it was just this cozy little letter on my windshield that was all like, "Thanks for visiting our town. We're glad you're here. By the way, you kind of messed up. Just don't do it again, okay?" And then a couple years later, I think my license plate was on record. I don't know. A couple years later, it was like same thing, but it was, "Thanks for visiting our town. You kind of messed up a little bit, but just take this envelope and you just tuck a cozy little fine in here, just real cozy. And then here's the address where you just drop it off here in our little town. Okay, thanks." In the state of New York, you cannot be a recognized municipality unless you have a gazebo. So there's that. We got a Sotheby's storefront. Get yourself a mansion. Walked all the way down here to get something for my kittens. I got a toy demonstration. It was fun. I think I'm going to play with my cat's new toy more than they are. It's supper time and I'm back at Wegmans. Okay, it's Tuesday it feels like it's later in the week than that. I just arrived at SUNY Mooresville. This is my second time here. I'm looking directly at the building I was at before. I'm looking where I walked my dog before. I'm a smidge early, and before a program, some of the things I have to do to balance is I don't want to be too early because my setup's really simple, and I don't want to like wear myself out because I socialize and I chit chat. Also, I have a sitting disability. It's really painful for me to sit in most chairs. And then, you know, I have chronic fatigue, so I don't want to be standing around. So again, I have to be really careful about preserving bandwidth. And then the other thing is the food thing. I need to have a little something to eat, like a little snacky, before I talk, because I don't want to get lightheaded and dizzy and all that. So I have to have a little snack, but I have irritable bowel syndrome, so I have to make sure it's like the right snack at the right time and the right quantity. So there's just a lot of stuff with, you know, being a speaker with invisible disabilities. This is Student Activities Center there. That's where my show is going to be.
I'm Barbara Roback. I'm a Director of Career Services for SUNY Mooresville. I loved how both inspiring and informative that it was. It opened my eyes to some things that people I know with invisible disabilities might be doing, or where they may need support, and what some of the things that I'm doing that I shouldn't or that I can and should be doing.
My name is Leslie Owens-Pelton, and I'm the director of the ASC, that stands for Accessibility Services Center here at SUNY Mooresville. Everybody kind of needs to know about this: faculty, administration, students. It helps because if we start talking more about disability, if we start unpacking it, we start to erase the stigma. Because stigma only exists when it's something deep, dark, mysterious that we never talk about. Once you start talking about it, and it's just part of daily life, which is what disability is. It's part of daily life. Whether you're a person with a disability, whether you have family with disabilities, whether you have friends, if you interact with anybody, you're interacting with people with disabilities. So to erase the stigma, we just start talking. We have conversations, and that's it.
Guess where I'm at for dinner? Wegmans. I look more tired every day. This is Wednesday morning before makeup. This is a puffy. Bags. I got some luggage on my face. Another day, another drive. Headed up to Fulton, to another campus of Cayuga Community College. Here's the room.
I don't have to do the thing again, do I?
So here's what we need. We need the clicker, water, my pre-show snack. This one has crayons. We do booklets. I have my books to show off. There's my splat cube that's getting a little mangled. Tractor trailer day. Another handout, scissors, and college students never have pens and pencils.
I'm Zachary Ingersoll. I am a full-time student here, but I'm also the student government president. It was very, very informative, and it was very, very helpful in navigating my own trials and tribulations that I have to go through. The Splatnik thing is going to probably be like my mood bracelet.
So, there went that nap. Alright, last show of the week. It's Thursday, and I gotta head up to Syracuse and get to Onondaga Community College. Alright, I've arrived at Onondaga Community College. I did use the accessible parking spaces here. so I'm not lugging this stuff too far. It's hard on my back. This is an afternoon show I got to sleep in today, which is nice because getting pretty tired. I think it's like my 9th time presenting at Onondaga.
Welcome back, and we're glad that you're here again. And,
Enjoyed that.
yeah, and
I'm so
congrats,
happy to be back.
I know. Feels like-
congrats on your new book too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good.
Glad to have you back.
I feel so welcome. And I gotta let everybody else know
too.
that OCC gave me flowers.
Oh,
See? Yep. You know how to do it right.
Thank you so much. And also,
Some awesome little treats for you.
oh, I'm gonna look because I love presents. Ooh, would you pull my flowers?
Absolutely. All right, have a good day. I'll see you later.
Look, Mom, I got presents.
Here you go. Thank you.
One of my general overall things that I like to really encourage people to do is use what's available. Use the modifications that are available, use the accommodations that are available. Don't be afraid. I parked in an accessible parking space here today because it's going to make my day better that I didn't have to hike in from a further distance carrying heavy things. Yeah. I wear contact lenses. That makes my life better. So, you know, get the modifications, get the accommodations. There's no shame in it. And anything you ever have to do to be your best self, do it. So, invisible disabilities are conditions that include cognitive difficulties, learning differences, mental health disorders, physical pain, fatigue, or other physical conditions that are not apparent to the onlooker but significantly impact one's daily activities. Whew. All right, let's break it down. All right, 3 parts of this definition. Other points that I need to make. We have to consider somebody's identity, how somebody identifies. Somebody could have a condition that is mental health, cognitive, physical, significantly impacts daily activities. However, they do not identify as a person with disability, and that's what you need to adhere to, is how somebody identifies. Another piece is, it's not even necessarily going to be a condition on this list. There are some things that people live with that significantly impact daily activities, but it's not an actual diagnosis on here. Somebody could be going through a divorce, and the stress of that is disabling. Grief can be disabling, loss of a pet. So as I talk about stigma and not making assumptions, please keep in mind that somebody could be experiencing a situation. Yeah, nice turnout. Nobody ever sits up front.
176. See, look at that.
One of these days, I'm gonna like do a flash mob style thing, and just after everybody sits down, like remove all the chairs in that front row. Just gone. No, because I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. I made it. All the shows are done. I got takeout, sushi and crab bisque. Now I'm just gonna put on my past your bedtime pants. Oh yeah. And unwind. I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it.